Agent Romanoff. You miss me?
Oh yeah, Charles, we got ourselves an X-Men fan.
Captain.
Your Highness.
Jackman, big fan, SpiderMan. Hey everyone.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Film Artsy, your #1 source for all things films and movies. My name is Elijah, and the Captain America movies are a solid series overall, and have provided some of the coolest scenes we've seen in the entire MCU to date. So for today's video, we thought it'd be interesting if we went through some of the best scenes from all of the Captain America movies. For this list, we're going to be starting with Captain America, the First Avenger, and wrapping it up at the end of Civil War. So let's go ahead and get into this list. First up, we have the I Can Do This All Day scene from Captain America, the First Avenger.
You just don't know when to give up, do you?
I can do this all day.
Besides the subtle reference of the shield in the fight scene, this was an awesome scene because it really identified who Steve Rogers was and why he was the perfect candidate to become Captain America in the first place, and how he had this never give up attitude, respect for the country, and dislike for bullies, and it really showed here and it was really well done. Number 9, Steve Rogers versus Heinz Kruger.
Sorry!
This scene was really just overall fun to watch because it was a classic chase scene in one of the early MCU movies, which was really cool. But at the same time, this scene kind of introduces us to Steve Rogers after he had his super soldier augmentation, and it kind of shows how ultra powerful and athletic he now was with the super soldier serum. And then of course we've talked about this scene before on the channel, but next up is Captain America's sacrifice.
You're gonna need a rain check on that dance.
A week next Saturday at the Stork Club.
You got it.
8 o'clock on the dot. Don't you dare be late. Understood?
You know, I still don't know how to dance.
This scene overall was just so heartbreaking, but it really showed how heroic of a character Steve Rogers was, and his relationship was really sad for an ending, but it also kind of helped build the backbone of this character and what we could expect from him, and shaped how he sees the world from this one movie. And that's a really valuable scene that comes out of Captain America, the First Avenger. And finally, wrapping up the first Captain America movie, we have the final scene of the film.
Now I'm gonna ask you again. Where am I?
Captain Rogers.
Who are you?
We thought it best to break it to you slowly.
Break what?
You've been asleep, Cap, for almost 70 years.
This scene was just so well done because it really showed the culture shock that Steve Rogers went through from being frozen for 70 years. And of course, this was kind of shoehorning Avengers into play, which would come out the next year, and it was really nice to see how they were going to connect this character who was in a completely different time period and keep his origin story the same, all the way up to where the MCU needed to be at that moment. Next up, we have the elevator scene from Captain America, the Winter Soldier.
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out? Whoa, big guy. I just want you to know, Cap. It's personal! It kind of feels personal.
This scene was just cool. There wasn't really much of a plot line needed in this scene, but it's just really cool to see the heavily choreographed scene that shows Chris Evans / Captain America's powers, and overall was just a really cool scene. Next up, the highway fight scene between Captain America and the Winter Soldier. While the Winter Soldier did have a pretty decent storyline, some of the action scenes were just so amazing and we couldn't skip out on this one just because it was so heavily choreographed and just really looked so cool here. Next we have the Nick Fury car scene.
Window integrity 19%. Offensive measures advised. Wait! Window integrity 1%. Now!
Get me Agent Hill.
Communications array damaged.
Well, what's not damaged?
Air conditioning is fully operational.
Nick Fury overall is just a really cool character, and we haven't gotten to see any monumental action scenes with him in it really. And this scene is just so amazing, especially because his back's to the wall and he pulled something really amazing out of it. Next up we have the scene out of Captain America Civil War where Captain America pulls the helicopter against Bucky. Once again, another really cool scene. Captain America movies seem to have these really awesome action scenes, and we just love the cinematography in this one and just the way that this shot looks. And then of course, the whole helicopter crashing is also really cool. And we have 3 more scenes that we're about to get into, but before we get there, if you like what we do here and you want to help support us just a little bit more, consider checking out our Patreon, link in the description down below. You can help support our channel and all of these types of videos that we've been producing. We want to make more videos just like this one that you're watching right now. And if you have a couple dollars you could spare, maybe pledge it and help support us. And you also get some really cool perks like behind the scenes stuff, and it would mean the world to the whole Film Artsy team. If you can, thanks so much, link down below, and let's get back into our list. Next up, we have Black Panther's introduction.
Sam, southwest rooftop.
Who the hell's the other guy?
About to find out.
This scene just worked so well because even though this movie was balancing a ton of characters and also introducing new characters, they did a pretty good job with the pacing and making Black Panther an interesting character, and he was pretty awesome to watch in this scene too. And then we have SpiderMan's introduction.
Got a passport?
No, I don't even have a driver's
You ever been to
license.
Germany?
No.
Oh, you'll love it.
I can't go to Germany.
Why?
I got homework.
I'm gonna pretend you didn't say that.
No, I'm being serious. I can't just drop out of school.
Might be a little dangerous. Better tell Aunt Hottie I'm taking you on a field trip.
Don't tell Aunt May.
This one almost stole the entire show. Tom Holland did such a great job reintroducing Peter Parker and first introducing Peter Parker into the MCU, and there was so much hype around this because for the longest time people had wanted Spider-Man and Peter Parker to be in the MCU, and because of legal issues it couldn't happen. And finally he was here, and Marvel didn't wait any longer than they had to throw him into a movie, and it was just incredibly awesome to see that. With that, this opened up the relationship between Tony Stark and Peter Parker, which builds up in the next couple of movies, which was really cool and definitely was a highlight of the movie for many moviegoers. And finally, the airport fight scene from Captain America: Civil War.
Sorry, Cap, this won't kill you, but it ain't gonna tickle either.
Wanda, I think you hurt Vision's feelings.
You locked me in my room.
Okay, first, that's an exaggeration. Second, I did it to protect you. Hey, Clint.
Hey, man.
Clearly, retirement doesn't suit you. You got tired of shooting golf?
Well, I played 18. Shot 18.
Not too often do we get to see huge team-up fight scenes in the MCU outside of the Avenger movies, and even more unlikely do we get to see team-up movies where a bunch of characters are fighting against each other and they're all heroes. And this overall was just such a cool thing that we got to see in this movie, and it was well done, but it also didn't take away from the actual storyline that Civil War was going and the kind of arc that Captain America had built up so far. So this scene was definitely one of the absolute bests. But hey, those were our picks for this video. Let us know in the comment section down below what scene from any of the Captain America movies was your absolute favorite. We read all of our comments. If you're new, be sure to subscribe and turn notifications on, and we'll see you all next time with a brand new video.